Okay, Nicole Ruffett here outside of the DC federal courthouse. Real housewife of Jan 6 here, just trying to make a day here in the court. It is a swamp down here in DC, and you see it every day in this courthouse. Today, we didn't even get to the first witness until 11:55 all morning long. Well, let me go back just a bit. Last night, 10:45 or so, of course, the government plays their same shenanigans where they're going to change the witness, how the witnesses go. I can't talk. So anyway, they wanted to do a witness today that wasn't on scheduled until tomorrow. That puts a lot of pressure on the defense team. Judge Kelly said, no, we're not going to do that. There's still a lot of evidence related to this particular special agent. Cavarelli is her name. She will be testifying soon, but a lot of the evidence they needed to go over before she could even testify, we went over. Some of this evidence is just very prejudicial. It's going to confuse the jury. Nick Smith was arguing that one of the pieces of evidence exhibits that they will be discussing is just a full video. And many of the other exhibits after that are just clips or pieces of that video. He is saying, play the video in its entirety. Let's get the context in there. The government really doesn't want to do that because a lot of what the context is does not fit their narrative. And, they don't have anything else other than a story they want to tell. So, they cherry pick this evidence. They cherry pick pieces out of videos, clips, still frames of video, and then they try to prove their point with that. This defense team is not going to put up with it. It is really exciting. It's only going to get exciting the further we go along. So Judge Kelly hasn't ruled on that yet, but here's some of the other things. Nick Smith made a really great argument that one of the parlor posts for Nordine is they decided this war, let them remember the day they made war with us. Nick's point is who's they? How are you going to context they? Are you going to just assume who he's talking about? There's also prejudicial things coming out with a post he made about COVID-19, do not comply, and they're worried that now they're going to not only have to fight these guys as terrorists, so the government likes to call them, also now they want to say they're anti-vaxxers, they're racist, all these things the government is really fighting against besides the charges of that day. So it's a character assassination all over again. And these videos are very prejudicial and can lead to jury confusion if you do not put them in the right context. So, Judge Kelly is going to rule on a lot of those things either this afternoon or tomorrow. You don't know because a lot of these things even predate the conspiracy timeline that the government has set up. So how is that even relevant? The government's argument back is that it's relevant because it shows state of mind. They have to show how these guys are connected. We did finally, when we got to the first witness today, which is, let me get my notes, so sorry. Is Special Agent Nicholas Kaiser. He's out of the Daytona office. He did the raid with the search warrant and everything on Big's home. And I thought it was going to be kind of boring, but then they're going to bring up all this Proud Boy stuff. There was a point of contention that they showed the, what do they call them? They are coins, challenge coins, that the Proud Boys give out. It shows where they've been, what rallies they've been to, that type of thing. And Biggs had 5 of them in his home. And they don't say, if anybody knows anything about the Proud Boys, they are very off the cuff. They love to insult each other. So these coins reflect that type of attitude, which much of it is tongue in cheek, not actually, literal. But it does, depending on how the jury feels, and we know this is a pool coming right out of this district, some of the things that were written on the coins can be that some people could take insulting. And, the government just throws that in. There were objections to, the relevance of it. Once again, the relevance is they're all part of this Proud Boy organization. we went through on that. We will continue with that witness this afternoon. We have really strong ladies. Once again, I said in there, Enrique's mom, Suni, is an amazing mom, and she is there supporting her son every second. And she's proud of her son, and as well she should be. And there were times with some of the things written on the coins that the jurors winced at. Some laughed. It's a bit crude, or I would say what it is. That was on one of the coins. Can make you chuckle what it said, but I could see some of the jurors were really wincing when some of the things on the coin were read aloud. And and there's a lot of contention between the government and the defense team. The defense team is not really putting up with a lot of BS, and they're really trying to object to as many things as they can. Pattis came out and said he did not like the way that AUSA McCullough was pointing over every time he was making a derogatory statement, pointing, he felt like, at his defendant Biggs and his clients. So there's that back and forth. Judge Kelly's really frustrated with Carmen Hernandez, who's the attorney for Ethan Nordine. Zach Reel. And, she stood up to make an objection. He told her to sit back down. She did not sit back down. And because that's just the personality that Carmen has. She's out there fighting for Zach, and, they're trying to make him out to be a racist, an anti-vaxxer, all these different things. And she's really not putting up with it. Yesterday we had issues with, the government trying to insinuate that certain people that had hooked up with the Proud Boys, people in the crowd, they're using the term called tools, and the tools are the people. They had brought up AJ Fisher, which at the end of the day, AJ Fisher's lawyer, she had reached out to Nick Smith and notified that there's absolutely no communication about January 6th, AJ Fisher and the Proud Boys. And, this is just another ploy by the government to throw people under the bus, put seeds in these jurors' head about a larger situation. And a lot of these people that day on the way to the tunnel, they saw people injured, they saw people battered by the police. The government doesn't want that out. That's why they're very picky about that. People showed up for a protest. The Proud Boys showed up for a protest. AJ Fisher showed up for a protest. And, once they got there, they were almost attacked immediately. The narrative of the government is not that way. There's video showing AJ Fisher, giving triage out there. There's video showing the lifeless body of Roseanne Boylan in the tunnel. And these protesters reacted to the violence they saw that day, including the Proud Boys. And, so to try to link people together that aren't even on an indictment together is just the shenanigans that we're putting up with, and it's only going to grow. I implore everybody, if you're going to want these updates, you really need to text TOTC to 844-837-9924. Once again, that's text TOTC to 844-837-9924. All of these things are just going to keep growing. There is a lot of information happening right now in that courtroom. I've got to get back at it. This is Nicole Reffitt, Real Housewife of Jan 6. Please get your update. Text TOTC to 844-837-9924. I'll catch y'all later.